Right here.
Mayor, is there a microphone? Mayor, on Oprah yesterday, asked, what are you going to do with the money? And you said there were 3 priorities, and the first was we're going to support the teachers. We're not going to bash teachers. And I couldn't help but think that some people have accused Governor Christie of bashing teachers. I know he would say it's the union, not the teachers. What did you have in mind when you made that comment?
Well, again, it's very fundamental that you cannot have great education without having great teachers, and that you have to do what you can to support and empower the profession. Every school in Newark, no matter how that school overall is performing, has great teachers. But we have not done the things necessary to empower teachers and, frankly, to empower the profession. So I think there's going to be a lot of discussion within the community about everything that's the hot button issues around the country right now. How do you empower teachers? How do you hold teachers accountable? Do you look at things like merit pay? Do you have situations like the Wall Street Journal just reported where you have great teachers who were the last hired being the first fired? What about rules like that, and how are they affecting our community? We need to have an honest conversation in Newark about that, and we need to put the facts out there. What does our teacher contract look like right now? What does it require of our teachers? How does it hold them accountable? What are other cities from New Haven to Washington, D.C. who have innovative arrangements with their teachers? Let's let Newarkers see what the possibilities are and form a vision for what does true teacher empowerment entail, and let's go that way forward. Governor, you want to add anything to that?
The only people, Mike, who are saying I'm bashing teachers are the teachers union, because it serves their broader political interest, or at least they think it does. I'm willing to support every great teacher in New Jersey, and I think they should be paid well, and I think they should be honored for their service. And I've said that over and over again. But I'm not going to mince words regarding the teachers union in this state, because they are, in fact, a negative force for change and improvement of our system. And it's not just in New Jersey. You saw the movie. It's everywhere. And you saw the attitudes that are displayed in that movie, and it's yesterday's attitudes. So, the convenient and easy thing is to say that I bash teachers. I never have. What I say all the time, and you've been at most of these events, is that it is the teachers union and their demands that are the things that I have spoken out most clearly against, because they are destructive to our state's economy and they are destructive to our educational system. And so I'll say it again, but I'm sure at the next press conference we're talking about education, someone will ask about me bashing teachers again. It's the way it goes. I get it. But I've never done that. I'm not going to do it. But bad teachers shouldn't be teaching anymore. And the union should not be protecting bad teachers, and they do it every day. Now, I don't know how that helps a family, and I don't know how that helps a child to learn. And so if that means I have to be outspoken about it and direct about it, that's what I intend to be.
Let's go Max, and then we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna go Max. We're gonna go up front, and then we'll wrap up.
Thanks, Mayor. Gentlemen, with the entanglements of unions and state guidelines governing public education and your mutual advocacy of vouchers education, were there any discussions with Mr. Zuckerberg about the possibility of creating a foundation for vouchers and not public school education? Could all 3 of you address that, please?
There have been incredible, generous individuals that exist in Newark, like the White Foundation, and even Ray Chambers has funded scholarships. There's been a lot of folks that have been funding scholarships for kids. In fact, I think Shavar spoke very eloquently earlier. Shavar Jeffries, the president of our local school advisory board, about this wonderful opportunity that scholarships affords. But the overwhelming majority of Newark kids are going to Newark schools. And let's be frank, we're spending over $20,000 every year to educate them. So we need to fix the public school system. And that's where the focus is. Mark was not interested in making grants to individuals, because that's not going to solve the Newark problem, the New Jersey problem, and the problem of the United States of America. We need to show, we've shown individual schools can exist. We've shown that charter school networks can exist and work well, but we have not shown the ability to turn an entire system anywhere in America, an entire urban system around. And that is what we are going to fight for in Newark, New Jersey. And that is the goal of this entire endeavor, with the strategic application of philanthropy towards this public endeavor, with the partnerships of a lot of professional educators inside Newark, outside Newark, and with a community coming together. I am confident that Newark, New Jersey can demonstrate to America that we can be to show district-wide excellence and success. Let's go with the last question right here. I'm sorry, Governor, did you want to ask?
This is a question from Mr. Zuckerberg. How much time have you had a chance to spend in the city of Newark, and what are your plans in terms of your plans to spend time in the city of Newark to see this initiative through? And can you talk a little bit about if you have any thoughts about public versus private education, school choice, things like that, and how it may have kind of led to your rise in business?
Sure. So in terms of my involvement in this, I decided that I wanted to start giving back at a younger age rather than waiting till later on in my career. But because I'm spending all of my time running Facebook, the most important thing for me to do here is not set up a foundation that I'm involved with every day, but instead to find leaders who I believe in, who I think can improve the education system. And that's what I spoke about earlier, and that's what I think we have here with Mayor Booker and Governor Christie. So that's the most important thing that we have here. And that's what we're doing. Sure. I mean, I visited while we were talking, while we were pulling this all together. I mean, I'm here now. I'm sure I'll visit in the future. I mean, this morning we went to a school. It was great to have a chance to speak with some kids there. You know, we've hired someone to be the acting director of the Startup Education Foundation, which is the foundation that we created. She's right here, Jen Holleran. So she's going to be the person on a day-to-day basis who's running the foundation and doing most of the involvement here, while I am running Facebook.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, you going to take him to hobbies?
He's been bugging me, rightfully so, because I've kept him starved for his entire trip here as we've been running around. Look, I want to say some concluding remarks. I'm going to ask the governor to say some concluding remarks, and we're going to end. This is the beginning of a process. This is not the end. This is a moment in time where Newark has, in my opinion, a tremendous opportunity to seize upon this opportunity and create a new destiny for our kids, and that's where the focus must be kept. There'll be a lot of talk around, but the real work is going to start tomorrow, today, and over the weeks and months to come as we work to pull our community together around excellence. I am grateful for Mark Zuckerberg for what he's doing in terms of investing in our city now. I'm grateful for all those people that who are stepping up to match his grant and offering support, and we want support, and I'm thrilled at hearing technologists and others who've been offering to help the Newark community. But this is now going to begin a stage and a process where Newarkers must rally around that which is most important to the future of any city, and that's the children. That is the fundamental focus. That is the urgency, because the system is failing them, and that is the success we seek, the nurturing of their genius. So we look forward to keeping you abreast of it, but the hard work starts now. And as I bring the governor up, I want to thank him for, again, trusting Newark and enabling me in a process that's going to hopefully achieve the results that he seeks, which is a community coming together around excellent education. And that, to me, at the end, will be the determinant of our success or our failure, the degree that we can come together, choose our own destiny, and then do everything necessary to achieve it. Governor Christie.
Listen, I want to thank Mark also for creating the impetus for change. And philanthropic gifts, when they're at their best, are geometric. Because what they do is they spur others to look inside themselves and decide, how can I help? How can I bring about change? And that's whether you do it by donating money or whether you do it by rolling up your sleeves and getting to work, or whether you do both. And so Mark has provided impetus to change for New Jersey, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate his confidence in me and in Mayor Booker. You know, the county executive, Joe DiVincenzo, and I are similar in a lot of ways. It's about results. In the end, all these things are good to talk about, but unless we deliver results, it's not going to mean a whole heck of a lot. And so, as governor, my job is to deliver results for the people of the state, and my involvement in this was not something that I took lightly. And we've been talking, the mayor and I, for months before he met Mark Zuckerberg. That became a new element of our conversation. But we've been talking for months about what we needed to do to change the public school system in Newark. And in answering the question I think that Max asked, this is about fixing the public school system. That's what this is about. And the numbers of the children who will benefit from that are geometrically larger than any of those that would ever benefit from other programs that involve private or parochial schools, important as they may be, and I think they are. We have to fix the public schools. So we have a lot of work to do together. I intend to make sure that that work gets done as best we possibly can, because that's what the people elected us to do. And if you talk to anyone, whether they're Republican or Democrat or independent, whether they live in Newark or Short Hills or, you know, Sussex County, if they have children, the one conversation you know you can always have with anyone, no matter their race or religion, where they're from, how much money they make, if you really want to engage somebody in a conversation, you ask them about their kids. It is the singular most important thing for any of us in our lives, is our children and what will their future be. That's what this conversation that we're about to embark upon as a state is about. And for any of those who want to talk about other things, they're going to have to get to the sidelines, because this is about improving our state's education system for our children and creating a model here in Newark in partnership with the mayor, with Mark Zuckerberg, and with anybody else who wants to join the partnership with goodwill and spirit to be part of it. That's what we got elected to do. That's what I got elected to do. And I'm going to work as hard as I can to make sure it happens with all the folks you see up here and the people that they represent. So thanks all for coming out on a Saturday afternoon.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.